$150,000 into $369,000 in less than 6 months. No tenants, no toilets, no renovations, just land and one simple strategy called subdividing. Most investors think they need more deals to scale, but sometimes the best move isn't finding more deals, it's doing more with the deals that you already have. I'm Clay Hepler. In the next 12 minutes, I'm breaking down a live subdivision deal we're closing right now in rural Minnesota, the exact numbers, the process, and the mistakes that'll cost you if you're not careful. Let's get into it. About a month ago, I bought an 80-acre parcel in rural Minnesota for $105,000. Now, here's what makes this deal different. Most people would have looked at 80 acres and thought, yeah, I'll hold it. I'll flip it in a year or make my margin. But I saw something else. The property had a ton of road frontage at the front of the property. And when I see road frontage on a bigger parcel like this, I immediately start to think subdivision. Because here's the reality. 80 acres is too big for most buyers. But for 20-acre parcels, that's a completely different market. The average land buyer we found isn't looking for 80 acres. They want 10, 20, or maybe 40 at most. Something that they can afford and build on. Something they can build on without feeling overwhelmed. So instead of selling one property for $180,000, we're splitting it into 4 lots and selling them for a combined $369,000. And here's the breakdown. Purchase price is $105,000. Buy-side closing cost is about $2,000. Rehab and perk test is about $5,000. That's septic feasibility testing to make sure that the buyers can actually build on a property, get a septic tank on the property. Sell-side closing cost is about 6%, so roughly about $22,000. Our total cost is $134,000. Our total projected revenue is $369,000. Net profit $235,000. And the timeline is under 6 months. Now that's more than doubling our money without dealing with contractors, tenants, or any of the drama that comes with traditional real estate. We're not building anything. We're not improving the land per se. We're just legally dividing it into smaller, more marketable pieces of land. And the market rewards that because it creates access for more buyers. This is the same exact thing that your favorite restaurant does by buying liquor by the bottle and selling it by the shot. So let's talk about what subdividing actually means. It's when you take a big parcel of land and legally split it into smaller, more valuable parcels. You're multiplying your exit opportunities without buying more land. You're creating inventory out of thin air. This works almost anywhere in the United States, but some counties make it easier than others. Rural counties in Minnesota, Texas, Florida, Arizona, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, they're pretty friendly to land divisions. Now in urban counties, not so much. They want infrastructure studies, engineering plans, impact reports. It gets expensive very fast. But in rural areas, the process is usually quite straightforward. You just need to understand the local rules before you close the deal. Here's a trick. All you have to do is call the county planner before you buy. Every county has one. Most of them are happy to help. You can call them and ask just 3 questions. What's the minimum lot size? Can I split it by deed, or do I need a surveyed plat? And what's the approval timeline? This one phone call can save you months of headaches. It tells you whether a property is a gold mine or a money pit. Because the barrier to entry in subdividing isn't capital, it's knowledge. You don't need $500,000 to do this. You need the right surveyor, a title company, and a solid understanding of county regulations, and maybe a partner or a consultant. And that's it. And once you understand how to navigate these rules, you unlock a strategy that most land investors completely overlook or cannot execute. Now, let me tell you the biggest mistake people make with subdivisions. They don't check for road access. Listen closely. Road access is absolutely everything. In most rural counties, you're subdividing based on road frontage. If you don't have road access to each new lot, you're either going to spend a fortune creating it, or you're stuck with a landlocked parcel or a less than desirable parcel that are basically worthless. I've seen people buy land thinking they can subdivide it, or creating Frankenstein subdivides, and they realize that at the end of the day, when they go and try to sell the property, they can't get nearly of what they thought that they could get, because they're not actually bringing a product to the market that the market wants. So when I'm looking at a subdivide deal, the first thing I check is how much road frontage does this property have? And can I divide it in a way where every new lot touches the road and is desirable? That's what makes or breaks the deal. And on this Minnesota property, we had road access along the entire front and side of the parcel. That meant we could split it into 4 lots, each with direct road access. Clean, simple, profitable. If we didn't have that, this deal wouldn't have worked nearly as well. So if you're looking to do this yourself, here's your checklist. We like to look at 10 to 100 acres. Bigger than that, you're dealing with a different buyer pool. You're going through major subdividing process, and we like to keep it easy on ourselves. Good road access, Ideally, public road frontage for each future lot. Power nearby. Buyers want utilities available. No crazy floodplain issues or slope issues. You want to have plenty of buildable area, flat land enough to build on, not all wetlands or steep slope. If the property checks these boxes and the county allows for these types of subdivisions, you probably got a winner. Okay, so you found the perfect property, you understand the subdivision rules. Now you're thinking, Clay, I don't have 105,000. I get it. But here's the good news about this. You don't need to use your own money. In our business, we use a combination of private lenders and deal funders. And for deals like this, you can have a deal funder fund 100% of the deal, 100% of the survey, the per test, all the tests associated with closing the deal, and they'll split the profits anywhere between 45, 50-50, 60-40. Think about that. You find a deal, you understand the subdividing potential, you bring it to a funding partner, they fund the entire thing, and you walk away with 100K, 150K in profit without putting $1 of your own capital into this. That is an incredible business model. You can make multiple six figures just by finding these deals and knowing how to structure them. The capital is totally out there. The deal funders want these types of opportunities. They just don't know how to find them. And that's where you come in. And even if you don't have these relationships yet, you can start small. You could find a 20K deal. You can use seller financing. You can partner with someone who has capital and split it 50-50. You're not locked out because you don't have cash. You're locked out because you haven't learned how to structure deals. Once you understand deal structure, the money follows, and you can start to build a resume of properly executed deals. So you can get cheaper and cheaper capital over time, or you can become someone that helps other people do this. So let's talk about execution. What's the actual process once you've closed on the property? Step number one, you want to hire a surveyor. You need someone local who knows the counties. They'll draft the new parcel map, they'll handle the legal descriptions, and they'll submit everything to the county for recording. That usually costs between $2,000 and $10,000 depending on the complexity and the size of the parcel. It's not necessarily cheap, but it's the only way to legally create the new lots. Step number two, you want to record the plot, or the surveyor will record the plot. The surveyor will usually submit this to the county recorder's office. This creates these new legal parcels. So when you sell these new separate lots, in our case, the 4 separate lots instead of the one big one, you can sell them and the new person can purchase it. Step number three is market and sell. Once the lots are recorded, you can list them individually. We pre-list them. In our case, you could sell them all for cash or all at once. You could offer owner financing to create monthly cash flow while selling 1 or 2 up front to recover your initial investment. That's the power of the strategy. You're not just flipping land. You're building a business that generates both lump sum profits and recurring income if you want. And the best part is you can rinse and repeat this in almost every state in the country. Once you know how to read zoning maps, talk to the county planners, find these types of deals and structure them properly, you'll have a skill that can compound forever. Not only will you be able to do this with smaller, minor subdivides like this, but you can do major, massive subdivides, subdividing parcels and selling them to builders and making multiple 7-figure checks. Now, I'm not here to trash houses or apartments. If that's your thing, go for it. But for me, land is the ultimate asymmetric bet. There's no construction risk. There's no tenants calling me at 2 a.m. There's no broken furnaces. There's no insurance nightmares. There's no contractor drama. With houses, your profits come from renovation. With land, your profits come from innovation, with imagination. You're improving the paperwork, not just the property. And once you understand that shift, everything changes. You're not competing with every fix and flipper or wholesaler in your market. You're playing a completely different game. You're the person who sees the highest and best use of a piece of land, who sees opportunities where others only see empty dirt. And that skill set pays dividends for life, because most real estate is crowded. Everyone's fighting over the same deals, but land, it's still pretty open. It's quiet, it's scalable, and the margins are absurd. That's why I say land is still the most underrated asset class in real estate, specifically because if you know an area, you can go from flipping a piece of dirt to subdividing a piece of dirt to developing a piece of dirt to building massive buildings, apartment complexes, industrial facilities, warehouses. You can go through the entire life cycle of what a real estate investor is just by understanding how to source the dirt. And that is an incredibly powerful skill that you will gain by understanding the land business. So yeah, 105K to 369K in under 6 months is incredible. There's no tenants, there's no renovations, just paperwork, strategy, and being able to see the highest and best use. Now, this is land investing. So if you're new to this or new to my channel, I've got 2 resources for you. If you want to learn everything you need to know to get your first deal, join the First Deal Fast Track below. It's completely free. It walks you through the entire process, how to find deals, how to pick markets, how to analyze them, and how to close them. The link is down below in the show notes. Second, if you want the actual contracts you need in order to get your first deal, next deal done, you can download the 2 contracts that actually matter, the purchase agreement and the assignment agreement down below 2 that is also in the description. This is one of the most profitable strategies in real estate, and most people still have no idea that it exists. If this video helped you see land differently, hit subscribe, drop a comment down below, and leave me a like. Let me know if you want more breakdowns like this. I'm Clay Hepler, and this is how to flip dirt for 6 figures. I'll see you in the next one.